is it 4 years ago? 4 years ago, at the summit, we met then county legislator-elect Laura Curran. We do these briefing sessions for new elected officials. And she had a lot of questions. She was taking it all in, and she was clearly focused on her district, on looking at redevelopment differently, looking at everything differently. And I think what was just most dynamic was in talking to her and then working with her for 4 years on the Baldwin community plans and complete streets, and she's been kind of a fixture at all the things we care about, all the events and organizations and her focused work on Grand Avenue and now her whole campaign for county exec. What we like the most is the independence, the openness, kind of the fresh approach that everyone's asking for. Laura brings that. So we know her as Laura, but she's the county exec-elect, Laura Curran. So let's hear from her. Laura, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. I think Steve might have left, but I want to thank him for his very nice, kind words. We're going to work very well together. I'm really excited. Everything from sewage to the tax plan, a million things to talk about. It's going to be a robust four-year conversation, and I can't wait to get started. And Eric, I also have to thank you. I got a call from this guy 4 years ago around this time. I got a call from this guy called Eric Alexander, inviting me to this Vision Long Island thing. So I went, and it was fascinating. I learned so much, and it's been 4 years of learning and talking and discussing and actually getting things done, which is very, very exciting. And I think what Eric brings to this is something we can all learn from. He works in a bipartisan, bi-county way. He can talk to everyone, and he is a true diplomat. And really, to get things done here in Nassau County and anywhere, you need true diplomacy. You need to get buy-in. You need the relationships. You need the trust. So I thank you for that. I'm also very happy, I see many familiar faces here, to join so many of our local community people, elected people, business people that will help keep our county growing. I just have to give a quick shout out to Deborah Muley. He's going to be taking my place in the legislature. And I know our South Shore district will be in great hands with you. So I'm sure many of you have heard me say on the campaign trail that my true passion is transit-oriented development. And I truly believe it is the key to unlocking our long-term growth potential. The days of white picket fences and the two-car garage are not gone, but we need to be innovative so that we can continue to pay for it, so that we can afford it. It's up to us to adapt to the needs of our residents and those who are looking to Nassau as a place to live and a place to work. We have so many empty nesters and millennials, and I think Don hit it right on the head. The needs are similar for both of them. They want the same thing: walkable downtowns, the amenities, rental, transit, etc. But they simply can't afford to stay here because of a lack of affordable housing, of public transportation, and walkable downtowns. There are places where this is happening. There are models that we can look to, and I'm very much looking forward to making that more of a reality in more of our communities where it makes sense: restaurants, shops, entertainment, etc. As county executive, I will work across municipal lines and across party lines with the members, and we have also make sure we have to get buy-in from the communities. Work very closely, at very grassroots level with our community members so we can start building up our communities where they make sense around our train stations. To accomplish this, it's going to take serious reform. The first thing we need to do is strengthen and set priorities for our Industrial Development Agency, the IDA. The tax incentives granted to businesses cost real money, taxpayer money. And they should be granted only when the benefits to taxpayers in the long run outweigh the cost in lost revenue in the short term. This is something Dawn also touched on. So there are a number of things that we will do to improve our county IDA. The IDA board, which is appointed by the county executive and confirmed by the legislature, needs to be made up of individuals with significant experience in the areas that are crucial for sound economic decision-making, including land use and planning, economics and finance, and marketing. The IDA needs to set proactive guidelines, proactively set these guidelines for the types of projects that are in the best interests of the county, and make those guidelines public so everyone knows where we're coming from, and that we review them annually. Before granting financial incentives, and I'll remind you it is taxpayer money, the IDA needs to ensure the projects sufficiently benefit the public and are not simply a corporate handout. That means doing a cost-benefit analysis for each deal that weighs the true cost to taxpayers. The claimed benefits need to receive the same scrutiny. A minimum number of jobs must be required, and they must be quality jobs at a stated salary range. The IDA needs to get taxpayers a money-back guarantee. That means the financial benefits need to be suspended or recaptured, clawed back, if you will, if a company fails to live up to its part of the bargain, either by failing to invest in Nassau what they promise or by failing to create the jobs promised. The IDA should facilitate, to the greatest extent possible, use of contractors and other businesses located in Nassau County and hiring of Nassau County residents. It's very important. Like all Nassau operations, we need to bring transparency to the IDA, including a simple twice-yearly report card. It's not very difficult to do, published on its website, showing its accomplishments. Finally, the creation of affordable housing should be one of the IDA's strongly stated goals, and we can require a minimum number of affordable units to be created in every residential development that it assists. Affordable housing, it's so funny, going on the campaign trail all last year, you use the words affordable housing, and they're not coming at you with pitchforks and torches anymore. Everyone understands affordable housing is for our kids, it's for our parents, it's for us. It's also for true economic development. We've got to do it. It's a key component to transit-oriented development, which is an important and exciting, and I would say crucial way to grow our tax base. This type of development provides much-needed housing options for our young professionals and Golden Age residents in areas that are easily accessible to the Long Island Railroad, which I'm happy to see the state is funding and supporting, which Lord knows we need, and the nice bus system. It also creates an economic environment that attracts new businesses, right? If young people have a place to live and a good quality of life, the jobs will come. It grows our tax base and ultimately lessens the burden placed on our current homeowners, those who want the white picket fence and the two-car garage. Making this happen requires a collaborative effort among all levels of government. As county executive, I don't control the zoning. It's the supervisors and the village mayors that do. So we need to be able to work together to create this vision and then to implement that vision. We need the buy-in. And again, that's where diplomacy comes in. And let's not forget the transit part of transit-oriented development. We've got to make sure that we have adequate public transportation options. This directly contributes to a vibrant county economy. More and more people aren't relying on personal vehicles to get from point A to point B. We know that. But that's no reason Nassau can't be a viable place to live and work. Let me make this clear. Funding for our nice bus system will not be on the chopping block. And in fact, I will look for...
Stop for a clap for that?
Yes.
Woo! Come on, guys. Woo!
That's quite all right. I'm also committed to finding recurring revenue to support this viable mode of transportation, and that will involve working with our state legislators and with Albany to make sure that happens. And I have some ideas which I'll share down the road. If you look around the country at how bus travel is happening, gone are the days when the person stands at the bus stop to take the bus. It's app-based, it's appointment-based, it's shorter buses, it's more flexible routes, and that's something I'm very interested in exploring and expanding on here. We also must find alternate revenue streams other than just our taxpayers, and we can do this by promoting tourism and attracting visitors to our beautiful island. We have so much to offer here in Nassau County. We've got I don't have to tell you, you've got the lovely beaches, the world-class golf courses, museums, nature preserves. We should be a top choice for tourists because every dollar spent in Nassau by visitors adds to our economy and lessens the tax burden to our residents. We need to make that a priority. I will be pairing experienced staff from our Parks and Recreation Department with members of our Economic Development team, all headed by a newly created Deputy County Executive for Economic Development. And if you want to clap, you can. to increase tourism and bring more revenue into the county. I think it's very important to have this new position, Deputy County Executive for Economic Development, because we need it desperately, and we need that kind of focus and attention brought to it. And what better way to put these reforms into action than by taking on the challenge, which I cannot wait to get to work on, that is finally turning the Coliseum and the empty 77 acres of parking lot it sits on into a bustling mixed-use development, live, work, play, that has affordable housing, commercial spaces for business, storefronts, restaurants, etc., and of course the Coliseum. For too long, political squabbling and infighting among various municipalities has led to the islanders leaving us, for now, and absolutely no progress on turning the hub into a destination for Nassau. Rest assured, those days are over. Thank you. I'm going to work with our legislators, and I'm sure we have more, but I do see Sila Bino, whose district encompasses part of the hub. I'm going to work with our legislators and our Hempstead supervisor-elect, Laura Gillen, as well as other key stakeholders who will be critical in helping us with the zoning and the vision, the real nuts and bolts stuff, and the vision to make it happen. The days of being complacent without a vision for the future will end on January 1. That's a pledge I make to you and to Nassau County taxpayers.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.